Good evening to all of you. So today we had the first mentoring session for Monday to Thursday students. Monday again they will meet on Thursday. Then Tuesday and Wednesday schedule I'll just give today. Okay, those names you might be thinking that they are not a part of it, so don't worry about it. I have not sent it. Okay, today night you will get your schedule. Those who have not, their names are not there, they'll get the schedule tomorrow. Today night for tomorrow. Tomorrow he is going to meet me, and day after tomorrow he is going to meet me. The total things I will be releasing today. Right. So we are doing this environment current affairs booster. So very important things we will learn. Okay. Concept and also the environmental current affairs in news. These are very, you can consider them as current affair also, you can consider them as static concepts also. Both are not very different. Okay, basically you will find lot of similarities, and whatever we will see as a current affair, 90% of that will be static only, 10% of that will be current affair. Okay. So we'll go ahead with our, yes please, can you do this? Consider following statements. The question is about this one. Consider following statements about, just wait a second. Climate change performance index. So under this perspective only you have to read the sentences and complete your answer. Consider following statements about climate change performance index. What is the answer? The index is not going to change. Once you have studied the index, then it will be forever, it will be like that only. The only thing what changes is the rankings. That's why you have to be very perfect in indexes. And most of the indexes in the examination will come from either from economy or from environment. Okay, there is hardly one or two indexes you will find in polity, like democracy index, corruption perception index. So like 2-3 indexes are there with regard to polity. History there is no index. Geography you are having no index, but disaster management you are having an index. But basically like 50 to 60 indexes you have to study. Then you can do 2-3 questions. Why I am saying 2-3 means? One question will be directly given. Which one of the following organization published so and so index? Direct question, one-liner question. Or it may also happen that in this sentence statement questions also you will find one statement with regard to index. Okay, so you will have dual benefits if you are very good in what? Indexes. And if you see over the years with regard to indexes, every year there are 2 indexes are being asked, and you have to just study 60 only, and the people don't do that. Like 365 days, okay, and just 60 indexes. Nobody will study. Hardly 25 international organizations are there. Hardly international 25 are there. Like SAARC, like BRICS, UNO, UNEP, UNSC, BIMSTEC, many are there. Like 25 hardly. But still you will take 365 days, again you will not do it. Proper plan, proper guidance, that is important. What to be stressed, that is more important. So please make sure whatever is coming out from my mouth, that is very, very important for your examination. Indexes you have to be perfect. So anyone who has done with environment, they can answer this question. Yes, yes sir. So this is very right statement published by German Watch, New Climate Institute and the Climate Action Network. This is a right statement. This is also right. It is an independent monitoring tool for tracking countries' climate protection performance. Countries' climate protection performance. This is where you will go wrong. If you are not perfect in memorization, if you are not perfect in remembrance, and if you have not done test and have not evaluated yourself where you actually, whatever you have learned, whether you are able to accurately present in the test or not, this is where you go. Okay, its assessment is not independent of Paris Summit. No, its assessment is in the lines of Paris Summit goals. In lines means it is having the whatever the Paris Summit goals were there, the assessment is done on the basis of that goals. It's not a independent assessment. It is not deviating from Paris climate goals. It is in line, it is aligning with Paris climate goals. This is how the question will be twisted. Independent, dependent, only, to all, universal, pilot basis, experimental basis, larger, smaller, one group, all group, right, only at coastal areas. Okay, like that you will get around. You have to understand whenever they use you this kind of words, no, please be very, very sure. Okay, then you will do it right. So answer here is 1 and 2. So anyhow 2 sentences are anyhow true, that is a fact, you can have it in your books. And this index have got some 5 categories, and every category is having sectional cutoff. Every category is having what? Sectional cutoff. Just like you will write banking examination, for mathematics you have to get minimum 50, for English you have to get minimum 25. In the same way, this index is having 5 parameters. In every parameter, which are like environment friendly parameters. What are those? Environment friendly. Like one parameter could be government policies. One parameter could be government policies. And you are having one scheme with regard to motor vehicles. What is that scheme? Motor vehicles which is environment friendly. Manufacturing, a manufacturing scheme is there. Manufacturing scheme. BS6 is the engine stage, okay, where less carbon dioxide emission will happen. But we are having a manufacturing scheme. FAME, faster adoption of manufacturing of electric vehicles. Whether the governments of various countries are trying to achieve a sustainable goals or not, okay, trying to take steps to halt the climate change process, trying to take steps to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions through policies, through schemes, through incentives, through subsidies, right or wrong. So this particular index will analyze in 5 parameters whether the government is really doing or taking efforts in order to do something for climate change. Okay, in every parameter you have to achieve certain marks, standard. Okay, so what happened? First 3, how much standard we really want? There is no country which can occupy the place 1, 2, 3, because none of them has achieved, no country in the world has achieved the set parameters. That's why first 3 slots are what? Empty. Means no country in 5 parameters have achieved that standard. Okay. Then European Union as a whole, 29 countries along with UK, India, they are in the report, they are considered as very high performers. High performer means they are taking very good steps in order to reduce the climate change impact and also to decrease the greenhouse gas emissions. Okay, so we are actually doing well according to this report. That's why out of 170, 150 countries, we are ranked what? 10th. Okay, so remember this point. Nowadays, they generally don't ask you the rank, they ask you that whether the rank has decreased or increased. Okay, whether India has slipped or did not slip when compared to the previous year. Okay, so you need to know, we never know that they may also ask you the rank also, but also have an understanding that what happened from last year. This German watch also publishes another report called as Global Climate Risk Index. Okay, what does it do? It analyzes what extent countries and regions have been affected by extreme weather events. weather events extreme whenever we consider, it will be like disastrous. It will be like disastrous. So weather events, extreme weather events, can you tell me some examples of it? Extreme weather events, which is related to weather. Tsunami, yes, water. Cyclones, all other forms, hurricane, tornadoes, you can add whatever you want to add. Okay, drought, heat waves, floods, right? Cloud burst. These are what? Landslide, extreme weather events. Snow avalanches. The glacial form of landslide is snow avalanches. Fine. So it assesses to what extent the regions are being affected by extreme weather related losses. Means India is getting how many times storms, how many times floods, how many times heat waves. Okay, if we are getting more and more, what does it mean? Our efforts towards that climate change and also the greenhouse gases are less. Right? Means we are not actually concentrating on the reduction of climate change impact, nor we are interested to do something with the global warming also. Fine. So if we want to reverse these processes, then what we have to do? First of all, these things will happen only when anything is what? Unplanned. Anything which is not organized. Or you can say ill-minded policies. These are all possible. Because of any of these things. Okay. So what is the opposite of it? Means what we have to do to reverse these processes. So whenever we introduce any new thing, whenever we build an infrastructure, whenever we develop our country in various ways, like construction of dams, construction of roads, okay, clearing of the forest, whatever we do, we have to find a scientific method of doing it. We have to find a scientific method. Sir, what is the meaning of scientific method? Sir, what is the meaning of scientific study? That is also a question. Scientific study or scientific method is nothing but when you do something, you should also assess the impact of it. Suppose a river is going from my house, from my farmland. I cannot have all the water in my farmland. As because it is going from my farmland, I might be having that perception that more and more water to the plants, more and more it will grow. Right? So this is not called as scientific study. Scientific study means if this happens, then what will happen? Means cause and effect relationship I am talking about. Cause and effect relationship. When you have these two words, then only you will consider it as a scientific study. So whatever we do in our country, it has to be in a scientific way. Okay. So India was ranked 7th worst country due to extreme weathers. Mozambique was affected. India's extreme weather events are mainly attributed to what? Floods. Majority of the India suffers from one extreme event, that is floods. Okay. So we have discussed the global climate risk index, and we also discussed one more index. What is that? Climate change performance index. Both are released by whom? Now, what is the rank in CCPI? What is rank here? 7th. Okay, what is that for? CCPI is for? Climate protection index. What steps you are taking, okay, to protect the climate change, to halt the climate change process. Okay, this is for what purpose? To see extreme losses. To see extreme losses due to what? Weather. Due to what? Weather. Okay. Then bundling scheme, not building, bundling scheme. It is, remember this point, it is related to, first important point here is, it is related to renewable energy. This is the facts you have to remember. Bundling scheme. ये related है energy से. Okay. Renewable energy. So what is this bundle is all about? Government is saying that if you want continuous power supply, if you want continuous power supply in your industry, in your factory, if you want continuous power supply, what you should do? Then government said that we will mix both renewable and fossil fuels. We will mix both renewable and fossil fuels. So selling renewable energy and the thermal power together, fossil and renewable, right or wrong? Together in a bundle, to have what? Round the clock power. To have what? Round the clock means 24 into 7. Means what? 24 into 7. Remember this point. Okay. And in this renewable energy, what they are offering, what energies they are bundling? They are bundling thermal with wind and solar. So this is a package given to the industries. If they opt for that, they will get 24 into 7 electricity supply. Okay. And obviously renewable energy means the ministry concerned with this bundling scheme is Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. The ministry concerned. Okay, ministry, very, very important. They may also give that power ministry. Bundling scheme is a scheme which has been introduced by power ministry. Wrong. Introduced by what? Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. 51% of electricity sold under this scheme from renewable sources. Means majority of the chunk in this bundling scheme, the energy is coming from what? Renewable sources. 51%. More than 50% is being coming from renewable resources. So you can understand that government is having lot of intention to achieve what? INDC. Intended nationally determined contribution. The pledge that we have taken during the Paris Summit. Paris Summit. Yes, please. This is a very simple question. Like this question will come in UPSC and you will be like, why didn't I study this? This was so simple. That's why when we are doing mentoring also, what I will do is, every day I will give you 10-15 GK also. Okay. GK is very important. 15 questions will come from GK. You will see all that, you will see whatever I am saying, you will see on October 10th. I list out GK questions, factual questions, one-liners, conceptual questions, current affair questions, everything. We will do the detailed analysis of every part. Syllabus also I will give, question also I will give. These two are in which place? At least tell me this, those who are done with geography. This is right only. This is right only. But these two are there in, right. Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, Chilka in Odisha. Koleru, AP. Okay, so these three are fresh water. Odisha Chilka Lake is what? Brackish water. Okay, saline water or alkaline water or brackish water. Slight differences are there, we don't have to go into the detail of it. Okay, so a ammonia gas leak happened, okay, near Indian Farmers Fertilizer Cooperative Limited. Ammonia gas leak happened there in one of the government PSU, Central Public Sector Enterprises. So it happened, it came in the news, we should know what does ammonia do. That is our subject. It is a colorless, highly reactive and soluble alkaline gas. Soluble alkaline gas. Colorless, very reactive, means it will react with many gases. It will make bond with many gases. It is also a part of what? Nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen cycle. If it is in higher concentration, it will affect the ecosystem. If it is in higher concentration, it will affect the ecosystem. Ecosystem is just like we are having tank bund water is there. Okay, behind tank bund there is some parks are there. So some tree is there, then water is also there, then human settlements also there, and let's suppose agriculture is also there, a big landscape where you are having what? All the important areas for survival. Forest is also there, human being is also there, water is also there, everything is there. That landscape is called as what? Ecosystem. Okay. So if it is a higher concentration in ammonia, it will affect the total ecosystem itself. Ammonia is stored both in liquid and gaseous form. A general knowledge. Ammonia helps both plants and animals. Ammonia is a form of building block of protein. Okay, and in plants, of course, ammonia will also be useful in some or the other way. Okay, and ammonia as a part, like the formula of ammonia is NH3. So nitrogen is anyhow there, and nitrogen, how important it is for the plants, you know, NPK. Nitrogen, NPK. So that's why it is important for the plant growth. Okay, and also it is present naturally in our body in our nucleic acids, DNA and RNA. DNA and RNA. They are secreted in our body to neutralize what? Excess acid. So it has got function both in plants and animal. In plants it helps in growth, in animals it's a part of DNA and RNA, and also helps to neutralize the acids which are produced by kidneys. So kidneys produces what kind of acids? Uric. Uric acid is not produced in our body. Uric acid or urea or ammonia, it is like fecal matter composition. Fecal matter composition. Okay. Black tigers. So we have seen some black tigers altogether in a national park, that is Simlipal, Odisha. Okay. And why these black tigers? Means there is a gene which has got what? Mutated. Okay. The gene which has got mutated. The gene name is this one. Transmembrane aminopeptidases. This gene got mutated. So here you remember the Simlipal and Odisha. That's all. Right. World Resource Institute has got, Wildlife Resource Institute has got a new program called as Connect Karo 2021. Connect Karo. So here in the survey it has been found that 1,40,000 state run, 1,40,000 state run means government of India run or state government run buses are becoming very, very old, 12 years and above. 12 years and above. How many? 1,40,000. So this report says that, Connect Karo report says that the government of India has got now a good opportunity that they can replace all these buses in the form of electric vehicles. Anyhow, 1,40,000 are going to be obsolete in some period of time. Instead of buying new fossil fuel ones, why don't you invest in what? Electrical vehicles. Okay. So it is seen as a big opportunity to roll out electric buses as they have zero carbon footprint. Zero carbon footprint. Okay. See, I am burning a wood. It is what? Fossil fuel or not? Yes. Because of this burning of this wood. So I have, from this wood, 10 CO2 molecules are emitted in the atmosphere. 10 CO2 molecules are emitted in the atmosphere. So now carbon emission is how much? 10 units of CO2 molecules. But what I have done, I have planted a tree here. I have planted tree, exact tree. This tree is able to absorb this 10 CO2 molecules. Okay. So my carbon emission, when I balance, it has become zero or not? It has become zero. This is only called as carbon neutrality. This is only called as what? Carbon neutral. At least government of India and the state government should go for the processes or manufacturing aspects where the carbon neutrality is there. Where the carbon neutrality means how much you are emitting, that much if you make arrangements to observe the same, then there is no problem. That is only called as sustainable method of doing. Means you are not harming the environment, no? because whatever CO2 went, it came, it absorbed. Okay. So electrical buses, so how much they do emit, that much they save. Okay, because though they emit CO2, whatever they emit, that is doesn't matter, but they don't use what? Fossil fuels. They don't use fossil fuel to make a bus. Okay, maybe CO2 might have been released to make this electric bus, maybe CO2 might have been released, but they are not consuming fossil fuels, no, that is saved, becomes totally balanced. Okay. India has got a target also, 10,000 electrical buses by 2025. 10,000 we are going by 2025. And India is also saying that we need original equipment manufacturers, and they also want the help of banks. Banks should lend us. So participation is not only states, but also those who manufacture that bus, whatever the parts, components of the bus are there, they should also come forward, and also bank should also start giving what? Loans for that ventures, so then only we can have this target completed. Nobel laureate Kailash Satyarthi, he is mainly concerned with combating child labor. Recently he was appointed as one of the ambassador of 17 sustainable development goals. One of the 17 sustainable development goal, he was appointed as a ambassador. Okay. Pusa decomposers. Pusa. So if you see this picture, you should definitely remember Punjab, Haryana, Delhi. This is only called as stubble burning. Okay, whatever the left out grass, whatever the left out straw is there after the rice is harvested, whatever is left out on the ground, for the next season they have to clear it or not. So for clearing it, what they are doing, they are burning, and all the smoke from the Punjab and Haryana is going to Delhi, and you know that these are aerosols. Means they will hang in the air and leading to what? Less visibility in that Delhi. Okay, so they are hanging, suspending in what? The atmosphere. And Delhi during winter, the air is dense, so they are hanging, these particles are hanging near below the ground, so you cannot even go. So loss of total visibility because of this burning. Okay, so to avoid this, a new equipment we have got. Okay, we asked them, sir, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this stubble? Why are you burning it? Then they said that we have to go for another season, we have to sow the seed. Then they say that let it be like that only. No, it will also prevent from erosion, it will also prevent from water, if it's run off from the surface also, these things will prevent or not. But they said that no, we are unable to sow deeply because of this straw, this much of waste is there. That's why a new machine was manufactured which is called as happy seeders. They are called as what? Happy seeders. So without, even if these things are also there also, they will go deep and they will sow the seed and come back. They will go deep and they will sow the seed and come back. Happy seeders. Okay, but all of them cannot afford that happy seeders and all. So it has to be like large, and it is possible with large farmers only. Then marginal small farmers, very hardly they can buy that machine, right? So we have got a new method, that is Pusa decomposers. So in this method, crop stubble will be converted into what? Compost. Means a useful useful derivative for the agriculture purpose. Okay. So this stubble is causing a major problem for Delhi air. This stubble. So this Pusa decomposer, the name is like that only. This decomposer is made from fungi. What it does, whatever the paddy is left, no, it will act on the paddy, it will clear itself. Okay, it will act on the paddy, it will clear itself. Okay, so it decomposes paddy straw at the faster rate. So just spray on the field, that powder you take in the is water, and just spray on the field in the liquid form. So it will spread and it will eat all the straws, decompose all of them. And as because it is stubble is getting into converting into compost, then of course it improves your fertility of the soil or not? Yes. And also productivity, it seems. It also helps to increase what? Productivity. Per hectare, more production. 1 acre 10 tons. Same 1 acre 12 tons. Then this is called as productivity. Means same area you got what? Increased production. So with the help of POOs or decomposers, the productivity will also increase. Okay. And these, whatever the straw which is decomposed will be used as what? Manure. Okay. When it is used as a manure, then your requirement of fertilizers will be decreasing or not? Okay. Then fertilizer requirement will decrease and farmers' income will increase. A process. Methane budget. Okay. Very famous gas with regard to greenhouse gases. Okay. It is emitted from anthropogenic and also natural sources. Anthropogenic means when you are doing landfills. Landfills are nothing but, what are landfills? Land में fill करना है, अंते land लो fill चेयाली. Okay, so just making a depression on the land, and when you get that depression, put all the waste and cover it. That is only called as what? Land filled. If you burn it, it is called as incineration. Landfill, or the methods are there. Landfill means you are not burning. When you burn the waste, it is called as what? Incineration. Solid waste management. Topic is what? Solid waste management. Okay. So landfills are this, and from agriculture also it releases rice crop generally gives lot of methane, and also from fossil fuels. Okay. And naturally the methane is also being emitted from wetlands. Please remember this point. Methane emissions in the atmosphere, one of the significant greenhouse gas. Okay, one of the significant greenhouse gas is having the emission both from natural and also man-made, anthropogenic. It is the second most important greenhouse gas that humans are contributing to climate change. But unlike carbon dioxide is also there, one of the major gas for the greenhouse gases. What is the difference between these two is carbon dioxide, why we are after carbon dioxide, it stays in the atmosphere for a long period of time. Whereas methane does not stay for a long period of time. But methane is 4 to 10 times more harmful than CO2. Methane effect on carbon, on the climate change, on the global warming is multiple times more than carbon dioxide. But we are not concerned with methane more. Why? Because the quantity of methane in the air is what? Less. Okay. And it is short-lived. It is short-lived. Less also short-lived. But with regard to the power, it is more powerful. Why we are after CO2? It is more in quantity and also long-lived. More in quantity and also long-lived. So agriculture, waste disposal, fossil fuels contribute 60% of these emissions, while wetland mades are for the largest natural source of methane. We have already seen. The emission of methane also vary by latitude. Okay. So these emissions are larger in tropics than in temperates. Remember this point. Methane emissions are larger in the tropics but lower in temperate. It is very common because temperate means you require what? Agriculture is less done in temperate regions. Right. So less agriculture, less methane. Temperate regions. Okay. Because there you have to maintain conditions. The concept of greenhouse itself got because the northernmost countries like Ireland and Iceland, UK, Sweden, Finland, Norway, they are unable to grow crops because of there is no sunlight. How much sunlight should be required? No, like we get directly sunlight from the we get direct sunlight for large part of the year, right? Large part of the year. So sunlight is very important for the photosynthesis or not? Sunlight is very important for photosynthesis. So regular sunlight is important, In temperate regions that is not possible. They will get hardly 4 to 5 hours. 4 to 5 hours per day. We will get about 8 to 9 hours. So 8 to 9 hours is important for the crops, not 4 to 5 hours. That's why what they will do, they will make some glass, mirrors, glass like that they will make that house and they will put some crops there, and with the help of that they will try to grow. Okay, that particular glass house is generally, it does not allow the heat to go out. Does not allow the heat to go out, it goes inside only, it stays. Because rest 4 hours or 3 years, they have to maintain the temperature or not. They have to maintain the temperature. So that is the reason. Global Carbon Project. Okay, it helps to quantify global greenhouse gases. Quantify. Quantify is nothing but giving number, giving a value to the greenhouse gases, which is like more harmful, which is less harmful, which is in more quantity, which is in more percentage, like that. So quantifying the greenhouse gases emissions. This is established in the year 2001. It talks about only 3 important greenhouse gases. It tries to quantify only 3 important greenhouse gases. Please remember this point: carbon dioxide, methane and nitrous dioxide. They will ask you in the examination, which one of the following gases are covered under Global Carbon Project? Which one of the following gases are covered under Global Carbon Project? So these things are not going to change. Remember this point. It's not like this year prelims current affair. Even for the next year I will be saying the same things. At least by next year you should be knowing all of this. At least when we are doing our environment mentoring, or at least you should be aware of it. Yellow dust. So you can see that this is how the yellow dust is. Okay. China and Mongolia, from their deserts, sand is moving towards what? So North Korea and South Korea. So recently they have announced, North Korea and South Korea announced their citizens don't go out, stay inside, because this yellow dust they may inhale and it may go into the lungs, then bronchi, bronchioles, alveoli, creating what? Respiratory problems. Creating what? Respiratory problems. So the presidents of these countries have told that stay indoors, don't come out. These sand particles tend to mix with other toxic substances such as industrial pollutants, causes a number of what? Respiratory ailments or sickness. Yellow dust. Then another one is atmospheric ammonia. Just now whatever we have seen, it was a gas leak, ammonia. So we have seen the features of ammonia. Features. What does is actually ammonia is. Now atmospheric ammonia, Indo-Gangetic Plain is a global hotspot of atmospheric ammonia. Why? Because that is the plain you are having fertile land, and because of the fertile land, more agricultural activities, and the more the agricultural activities, more livestock activities will lead to what? More emission of ammonia. So in their area you will see lot of ammonia concentration in the air mixture. Lot of concentration of ammonia in the air mixture, Indo-Gangetic Plain. Okay. So including the use of nitrogenous fertilizers generated. They are generated due to agricultural activities, whether you use fertilizers, whether they manage their manure, whatever is there, soil and water management. So what, and at the end, animal husbandry. Majorly ammonia will be emitted from crops, agricultural crops, and in the crops rice. Okay, when whatever the process we do from sowing to harvesting, okay, rice will emit what? Ammonia. Okay. Sorry, that is methane, I guess. Okay, rice is methane, not ammonia. But what in agricultural practices also, it is ammonia is released. And animal husbandry means livestock rearing. Okay, taking care of cows, taking care of buffaloes, sheep, goats. Okay, and whatever the fecal matter that will come out from that fecal matter also, ammonium waste is there, that will go again in the air. So atmospheric ammonia. So this ammonia is leading to deterioration of air quality. Deterioration of air quality, and leading to the formation of secondary aerosol. Nothing but aerosol, air plus solid. Okay, so whatever the pollution is there, vehicular pollution, all that pollution, the carbon soot particles, carbon soot. Soot particles means whenever you drive a bike, so you will get black here. Okay, so these are called as what? Soot particles. Okay, these soot particles are hanging in the air or not, that's why it has been stuck here, right? That's why air and solid. Particles are solid and air, aerosol. Aerosol. World largest solar tree. So you can see, it's like picture is there. Tree shape is given. So it is manufactured by CSIR. Okay, so Council of Scientific and very good Industrial Research, and also Central Mechanical Engineering Research Institute. They have developed the world's largest solar tree, and they have installed that in Durgapur, West Bengal. Durgapur, West Bengal, world largest solar tree. The main importance of this solar tree is, suppose what happens is, if this is my home, okay, so I may put the solar panels like this because sunlight is there, no? I may put it in this way. I cannot put in this way, right? Because sun will come in this way, in arc way. So I have to face my panels in the arc way. But when it goes like that, what happens is, these panels will not get the face. The panels will not get the face. Are you getting my point? Okay, but it means what? I cannot move my panels. Once it is mounted on my roof, I cannot move my panels. But in solar tree, what you can do is, you can just change it. Like you can move it. You can just move it so that solar intensity will be more. Solar intensity. Okay. PV, photovoltaic panels are flexible. These panels are flexible and can be adjusted as per our requirements. Okay. This feature is not available in roof mounted solar facilities. Okay. Solar intensity means per area how much insolations are being incident per area. Per 1 meter of solar panel, 1 meter is there, how much intensity of insolation. Okay, so if we continuously change various direction, we can get the maximum intensity, right? But if it does not move, like just like our sun is there, sun will directly hit what? Tropics. So there you will say that solar intensity is very high. But when it go to temperate, the sun rays will be like inclined or not? Their intensity will be less or not? Like that. This is the concept here. So this flexibility will allow you to have more and more sunlight per area. Sunlight per area. Okay. Hydrogen fuel cells. Hydrogen is considered as a future fuel. Okay. Since 12th class I am learning this. Literally speaking. Since I know what is understanding of things, I always study like India is a developing country. So till 31 years happened, I am still learning that India is a developing country. And hydrogen as a fuel, I am learning from 10th class. Okay, future fuel. When everything will be possible, I don't know. In my generation, it's not possible, I guess. According to economics, my life expectancy is 67 years. So after 37 years, I will die. According to government records. Okay, 67, 69. So hardly. Hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. A fuel cell, fuel ante means that burns. And why we burn? To produce electricity, to produce power, Okay, means these cells will be used for power generation. So how? By converting chemical into electricity. That converts the chemical energy of a fuel. Okay, which is hydrogen is the chemical here. If you pass electricity, okay, then that energy will be generated and you can use it. And the phenomena that happens in this hydrogen fuel cell, remember this phenomena, oxidizing. What is the phenomena? Oxidizing. Okay, it produces electricity continuously for as long as the fuel and oxygens are supplied. Very, very important point for the examination. This point. A fuel cell, once supplied with the hydrogen fuel, will last forever. Right or wrong? Will not last forever. Continuously supply we have to give. See sentence, we will change the sentence in this way. Once a few hydrogen Hydrogen fuel is considered a future fuel because once the hydrogen fuel is supplied, then it will last forever. Now, the moment you stop giving fuel, electricity will be. Climatic Investment Fund. World Bank is a trustee. Very, very important. Which fund is managed by which international organization? This is highly important. Okay. Climatic Investment Fund. World Bank is a trustee of climate investment funds. Okay. So it includes a sunset clause. Very, very important. Who is going to tell me what is a sunset clause in general? In general. Not hi-fi. I don't want hi-fi answer. In general. What is the meaning of sunset? Sunset in any policy, any scheme. Sunset clauses are generally very common.
After its period is completed, automatically it will.
So half is right. End result is end result only. Sunset clause. Those who are taking coaching from last 6 months, they should tell me. It's very, very important. You both have made the answer half. Sunset clause means if suppose the fundings, whatever the fundings they are giving for the sustainable development, whatever the fundings they are giving to develop projects which does not harm the global warming, okay, which halt the global warming, which does not impact the climate change. So whatever the fundings are being given in that particular direction, if the fundings are prejudicing, means what? If the fundings are not used in a way for which it is allocated, not used in a way for which it is allocated, then they will stop funding. Then they will stop what? Funding. You have to read it and read between the lines. What is it? Okay. Funds activities do not prejudice the outcome. What is the outcome here? Outcome is reduction global warming. Reduction of global warming. What is the outcome here? Halt the climate change. Halt the climate change. If the funds are actually not used for this purpose, they will stop the funding. Prejudice means not giving the due share. Not giving the due share. Understood? That is called as a sunset clause. So that limits are there. 100 crores I will give you. 40 crores you have to use for renewable purpose. 40 crores you have to use for global warming reduction purpose. Suppose if you have actually did not cater to this particular clause, funding stop. Suppose you have done only 35%, it will stop. Because you are supposed to give how much? 40 crores, but you have not given. Okay. Assessment of climate change over Indian region. This is a report released by Ministry of ES, Earth Sciences. So this report has given some observations. This report has given some observations. Coming decades, 2030, 2040 like that. So there will be considerable rise in the mean, extreme and interannual variability of what? Rainfall. There will be large variability with regard to what? Rainfall in the coming decades. It means some regions may have high rainfall, some regions may not have rainfall at all. High variability will be there. Interannual means in Kharif season, in Rabi season, the variability will be very high. Okay, it may happen that Rabi season may get highest rainfall and actual monsoon season may get low rainfall. So it is predicting some variations with regard to rainfall. The first thing, in coming decades we are going to see that. Flood risk are higher over East Coast and Himalayan region. Flood risk are highest near the East Coast and Himalayan region. Again a observation. Storms in Arabian Sea are gaining more strength. Generally in Arabian Sea you don't come across storms. Okay, hardly in 10 years you will see 1 or 2. But in right side you will see every other 2 months. Okay, in Bay of Bengal you will see lot of storms. But this report says that okay, the climate change impact is gaining strength and you may find more storms okay, in the Arabian Sea also. And average duration of heat waves in summer season, sometimes when you sit at the window, heat wave will go, right? It touches your cheeks and you will like going inside, right? So generally what happens, it will be like, we call it as loo. We call it as what? Loo, L-O-O. Okay, ये उर्दू word है, तो loo. Fine. So we call it as. Suppose it is only for like in summer, in 10-15 days it will be like that. Very, very hot outside and lot of loo, heat wave. Okay. But this 10-15 days period will increase, it seems. It will increase. That is what they have told. So duration of heat waves is projected to double. So 10-15 days will become what? Now 1 month. 1 month of heat waves we have to observe. Observation of this report. Eastern India could face 2 more droughts per decade. 2 more droughts per decade. Southern Peninsula is projected to experience 1 or 2 droughts. 1 or 2 droughts. Okay, in a year. Okay, remember this point. So their projections, they will also ask you in the examination, sentences 1, 2, 3, 4. So you should be, these are all facts. Okay, concepts are not there here. Factual things. REDD plus, reducing emission from deforestation and forest degradation. Okay, so this REDD plus, it is, first of all, please make sure that it is a part of UNFCCC. Part of UNFCCC. United Nations Framework for Convention on Climate Change. Because you are having deforestation and degradation, you may assume that it belongs to CCD, Convention Combat Desertification. You may assume in that way. That's why I have properly given you. This REDD plus is a part of what? UNFCCC. And when this program became a part of UNFCCC? In the year 2005. Right to information? 2005, right to information, no? Okay. 2005, Bharat Nirman also. 2005, National Health Mission also. 2005. Okay. Then the plus, why we have used the plus? In red plus, 3 important activities it will actually give. This plus denotes 3 important activities: conservation status, sustainability, and management of, okay, sustainable management of forest is like 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, this is third one, management of forest. I guess this is the third one, enhancement of forest. Fine, this is third one. 1, 2, 3. Enhancements of forest carbon stock means what? What does it mean? Enhancements of forest carbon stock. Try to exercise your mind. You have to come to the conclusion, at least near to this understanding. Okay. Enhancement of forest carbon stock. Nothing but afforestation only. Nothing but afforestation. Okay. So forest we have to conserve, means here we should do like we should reduce what? Felling of trees. What we have to do? Conservation is what? Felling of trees we have to reduce. Sustainability means we have to use forest. That is very common. Okay, but it should be in a judicious way. It should be in a judicious way, and also make sure that you are also developing forest, also extending the forest area. Okay, and it is also important for us because National Forest Policy also asks us to have how much percentage? 33%, and we are hardly having 23 or 22 like that. So we are trying to achieve that 33% from decades. From decades means any area, if it is having 33% of forest, that area will be very, very good. Their economy will be good, human welfare will be there, pollution will not be there, health will also be good. But area should have minimum 33%. The area which is having less than that will suffer from some or the other adverse impacts. Okay. It has again three phases: readiness, implementation, result based action. Very, very important. Result based action. Okay. So like in the REIT plus under UNFCCC, the conference of parties may say that we have to, every country should increase 10 million hectare forest area. They have taken a goal in the conference of parties. They have taken a goal that every country should increase the forest area to 10 million hectares. Means they have to go for afforestation. If any country does achieve it, they'll get money. They'll get money if the country achieve that particular objective. That's why it is properly written here. Result based actions they have to take. Okay, Brazil was the first country to receive what? $96.5 million under the result based payments. So they have shown the results. See, whatever you told, we have did it. Now we are entitled to what? Money. Okay. Uganda became the first African country to submit results for REDD plus. Okay. So whether they will get the payment or not, that is not there. But first country in Africa that has submitted that whatever the results that you want, we have completed that results and they have submitted the report to them. Report to UNFCCC. Okay. It is nothing but giving what? Giving what? Financial incentives to developing country if they stop deforestation. If they stop what? Deforestation. Either you do afforestation or you decrease your deforestation. Okay, in any way results are given, objectives are given, you have to achieve that particular objectives. When you show the results, you will get money. Climate Smart Cities Assessment Framework. Climate Smart Cities Assessment Framework 2.0. Already we implemented 1.0, this is 2.0 by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. What is this framework is all about? To combat climate change while planning and implementing the actions in the cities, whatever, and also the investments. Okay, a very, very, very dry one. Just read as it is. So in our Hyderabad, we do lot of urban area. It's a city. We go for metro, right? We go for what I say is establishment of solar plants, right? So we also go for creation of lot of water bodies. Also we are creating in mission under Mission Kakatiya. Okay, so we are going for some development. And you know that TS iPass, with the help of TS iPass, we are bringing lot of industries to Hyderabad, right? Then industries will come again, their derivatives will harm the water and also air. Okay, that means that is also possible. So these cities have to be planned in a proper way. The cities have to be planned in a proper way. So whatever the development is happening in our city, it should not harm the environment. It should not harm the environment. That is what it is saying. Let us combat the climate change in cities by proper planning and properly implementing our actions and also directing our investments. Okay, towards eco-friendly. In this framework, 28 indicators are there, which are classified under 5 categories. So energy and green building. Okay, green buildings are nothing but don't think that they are like not using electricity. Green buildings are nothing but they are using electricity, but little bit of electricity they are also taking from what? Solar, renewable resources. Green building. So it's not like they will paint green or something like that. Okay, green buildings are nothing but using some form of energy which is renewable, which is eco-friendly. Okay. So now like GVK1 complex is there. Government, a person is there, Ramoji Rao. You know very well Ramoji Rao. Okay, he wanted to invest, he wanted to make another GVK2. GVK1 is there now. Okay, GVK2, that is the nearest mall that I am having, walkable distance. Highly, we can just go and come. So GVK2 he want to invest. So his investment, here what is there? Investment. He said to the government 5 crore rupees. I am going to have GVK 2. Okay. Now what do we do? We direct his investments. In what way? We will say, yes sir, for at least for your, what I say is, whatever the lights you are using now, it should be run by solar. Movies and all you run by our thermal electricity, no problem. Okay, our food court you run by solar, or your washrooms, bathroom you run by solar, whatever it is. But we will direct his investments. We will change his what? Investments in such a way that it should become sustainable. Okay, with that what happens? City nature, city ecosystem will be good or not? City ecosystem will be good. That is what they wanted to do. Mobility, you know that. Green buses. We are having or not in Hyderabad, green buses? Okay. Then water management and waste management. Okay. So we should also take care of whatever the water available, we should not let it to contaminate. Okay, and waste management, you know, it's the biggest problem in the urban cities. Lot of number of people, lot of waste they generate. Okay, how we are managing the waste. Climate Center for Cities under National Institute of Urban Affairs is supporting MOHUA, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, to implement this program. Okay, so these are the nodal agency. Climate Center for Cities. It works under National Institute of Urban Affairs. That works under Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. So you can understand that this or this you remember, that is enough. These two are implementing what? This framework. Okay. Implementing agency, nodal agency, publishing agency is very, very important for the examination. Climate and Clean Air Coalition. It's a voluntary partnership, very, very important word. It is a voluntary participation. CCAC is the outcome of Conference of Parties Doha Agreement, which is binding on all countries. Question will come like this. CCAC, which is an outcome of Doha Conference of Party, outcome of Doha Conference of Party on climate change, and it is binding on all countries. Like that they will ask. No, it is a voluntary, very, very important. Of governments, intergovernmental organizations. Intergovernmental organizations are nothing but United Nations. Intergovernmental organizations are nothing but IMF. Intergovernmental organizations are nothing but World Bank, Asian Development Bank. Means government to government, there one organization is there which is catering to all the governments. Catering to all the governments. So we call them as intergovernmental organization and private investor businesses. India became a member of this coalition in the year 2019. Short-lived carbon pollutants, short-lived carbon emission pollutants, black carbon, methane, hydrofluorocarbon, tropospheric ozone are responsible for 45% of current global warming according to studies. So ye decrease karo bas. Okay, remember this point. In this air coalition, what they are concentrating? They are concentrating, this is important, students. Which one? Short. This coalition takes into account the reduction of both short and long lived. Like this they will ask you. No, it takes care of only short lived carbon emission pollutants. Okay. This they will not ask, but this they will pakka ask. This much detail they will not ask, but it is important to you for another MCQ. Which one of the following are short-lived carbon pollutants? They will ask you like that. Then these words are important. This chemical become your very important part of your examination. Okay, either they will have, but in the together they will not ask. This is this device Vayu, wind augmentation purifying unit, augmentation, wind augmentation, making it more quality. Okay, Vayu. Developed by again CSIR and NEERI. NEERI, one question has come previous some year, NEERI. Okay. This device has filters for particulate matter. particle. Particulate बोलते particulate means particle. Okay, very small matter is called as what? Particle. Very small matter is called, very small matters are called as particulate. Okay, so we will measure them in mm, 2.5, 10. 2 are major emitted in the atmosphere. By any processes we do, these 2 are there. PM3, PM4, PM5, all are there. But these 2 are very nuisance for us. PM 2.5 and PM 10. Mostly these are released in the atmosphere. Particulate matter. Okay. So this Vayu, you can see this thing. Okay, this fan. So it will be having what? Like this. So air will come, the particulate matter will settle here and good air will pass. Okay, small. Holes will be there too. This will allow only very like even 1 to PM2, PM1, you can create anything. Okay, you can give the passage to anything, you can stop the passage of anything. Okay, what is happening? Wind is coming, everything is being accumulated and the free air will be given. That's why wind augmentation. Means enhancing the quality of wind is called as what? Augmentation. Okay. So this has filters to remove carbon. Okay. And also you see poisonous gases also, that will help to remove poisonous gases also. Vayu. Okay, I have given you the solid one. Even gases are also, they will accumulate, they will store it. Okay. Volatile organic compounds, carbon monoxide. So gases are also being compressed or taken or absorbed by this Vayu, not only the particles. This is again a question in the statement. Okay. So Vayu is a device for augmenting air quality only for solid particulate matter. Only for particulate matter. Wrong. It is both for particulate matter and gases, toxic gases. I never heard Kerala has done something with regard to organic or farming. Option B, Sikkim is the first organic state, not carbon free state. Organic state means they are using more of manure, compost and all, not, okay. So answer is Himachal Pradesh. You know what is the meaning of intergenerational equity? Anyone who has done with environment? Environment हुआ? नहीं हुआ, environment नहीं हुआ? Then these are all factual only. What you will understand? Even at least concepts are there, you can try. Answer is 1, 2, 3. Intergenerational equity means I am one generation. We are in one generation. After us, another generation will come. Children's. Right. Equity means asset. Equity means what? Asset. So whatever the assets we are having in our environment, you consider assets as resources. In our environment, instead of asset, you consider them as what? Resources. So whatever the resources we are enjoying at present, water resources, air resources, food resources, whatever the resources we are enjoying, biodiversity, ecosystem, aesthetic values, recreational, whatever the things we are enjoying, the same equal ga, same to same, in the same amount you have to give to the future generations. Okay, same to same. Transfer it to what? Same to same to the future generations, so that they will also enjoy the same things. They will also enjoy the same things. Nothing but in sustainable development concept, this is the first point. Sustainable development concepts ensures intergenerational equity. Ensures what? Intergenerational equities. It properly clearly says that the resources of the country or of the world should be utilized in such a way that the future generation should also be reaping the benefits of the resources. Future generation means another generation. Okay. So in all the Stockholm Declaration of 1972 United Nations Conference on Human Development, also called as what? United Nations Conference of Human development. The story of this all climate change, global warming started from 1972 only. 1972. Then this is for climate change only started, like sustainable development concept. Okay. Then we got 1985, Montreal Protocol, enforced in the year 1987. Then we got 1993, Rio Earth Summit. Then we got 1997, Kyoto Protocol. Then we got Paris 2015, Paris. This is the thing we are having. In 1993 only, Rio Earth Summit, we got what? UNFCCC. Then we got Convention on Biological Diversity. Then we got Convention to Combat Desertification. UNFCCC, we have got Agenda 21. Agenda 21 means 21st century. What is the agenda? Agenda is to decrease the climate change. 21st century, decrease the climate change. And you know that Convention to Combat Biodiversity, Nagoya Protocol, Cartagena Protocol, Convention to Combat Desertification. So these three has come. Mainly we are interested in climate change. Mainly we are interested in climate change. Okay. What happened to Karla Patt? You don't know, that's why you eliminated it. Karla Patt is also in Gujarat. Okay, 1 and 2 are right, but we'll cross check this. Okay. To study any species, okay, there is always a question on species. So before studying that, this organization is very, very important. IUCN, International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources, IUCN. And if you are studying any species, whether they are rhino, whether it is tiger, whether it is vulture, whether it is snow leopard, whether it is hangul, whether it is crocodile, or whether it is monkey, whatever it is, to study any species, then you should know this hierarchy, IUCN hierarchy. First category is extinct, means no individual is surviving. No individual is what? Surviving. We have not found any traces of them at all, gone. Then extinct in wild. Extinct in wild. In that wildlife we are not able to see. Okay, in the forest it is not been seen. It is like confirmed, it is not yet confirmed. Means data insufficient. You can classify them into what? Data insufficient, but you are not seeing them. You are not seeing them. Okay. This category is threatened. This category is what? Threatened. In threatened you are having what? Vulnerable, endangered, critically endangered. Okay. Vulnerable, endangered, critically endangered. Vulnerable means population is dwindling. Population is what? Dwindling, means decreasing. Endangered means faster rate declining. Slow rate, faster rate. Critically means few are left. Few are left. Count, you can count a number, 1500 left. Critically endangered case. Okay. Near threatened. If you don't take steps, it will fall into vulnerable. Near threatened means near to threatened category. Near to threatened category means sufficient individuals are there. Protect now only. Otherwise they will come into the category of vulnerable starts. Least concern, abundant. Least concern, abundant. Any of very charismatic animals like tiger, lion, all that will only be in this category. Like dog, cat and all will be in what? This kind, not that charismatic. Red Data book is our book, Botanical Survey of India, no? We are having one more Red List Data book. 2 books are there. Red List, ours. Right. Red Data books are? What does it do? They will list the same things, no? Endangered categories they will give in that book, no? Means in IUCN publishes that book, in that book all this will be given. Okay. So remember one point here, whenever you are studying the species, please see what it is. Google में जाके देखना. Okay, what is dugong, etc. तो थोड़ा मालूम होता कि mammal है, jump कर सकता नहीं कर सकता, whether it walk or not. So you will get some understanding of the animal. Then you can know that where it will be living. So with pictures also you can understand that whether it is a amphibian or not, whether it is a mammal or not, whether suppose the animal you find only in seas means it is a brackish related or alkaline related animal, so it does not found in what, fresh water. Okay, so try to see the picture and see the surroundings, with that you will understand many things. Okay, don't just read it. Asiatic lion you will find in what, Gir Park. Okay, Gujarat. So this particular forest is dry deciduous. Dry deciduous means you will see what, in a year you will see leaf fall and leaf will come again. Okay, total leaf fall of the plant and again total germination of the leaves. In 1 year you will see both the things. Population decline is halted, means we are doing great. That's why the population of this Asiatic lion have been halted, means we have stopped the decline of the population of Asiatic lion. IUCN status, endangered. Means after vulnerable or not. Okay, threatened has 3 categories. What are those? Vulnerable, endangered, critically endangered. After vulnerable, before vulnerable, what is there? Near threatened. उससे पहले क्या है? Least concern. So last 2 extincts are what? Extinct in wild and extinct. Extinct in wild and extinct. So how many categories totally? हाँ, तो अब वो not there, it's not there with me. So at this present 7. Okay. So there are 6 sites proposed by the government of India to relocation purpose. Relocation purpose. Why do we go for relocation? Very good. Habitat loss. The conducive environment for them to grow is lost. Maybe rapid urbanization happened, their area might have decreased. Okay, fine. Or whatever they will eat, the provisions of their food, they are also declining. They are not finding that particular food also. That is also one of the reasons. Habitat loss means anything that is there which is required for them is shrinking. It's what? Shrinking. Kam ho raha. Okay. That's why we have to relocate them. Asiatic lion, Gir National Park, this particular forest is dry deciduous, population decline is halted, so we have achieved something. IUCN status endangered, so we are going to relocate. Brown antlered deer, or also called as sangai, unique animal found only in Manipur in the whole world. Endemic. Okay, all are endemic only. All are endemic only. Remember this point. Species you will not find in other countries. Subspecies and all other species you may find, but all of these are endemic to us. Okay, our lion will not be same as other lions. When we talk about species in environment, we talk about endemicity only. We don't talk about anything in general. Okay. Found only in Manipur. So I have to see this. I have seen this. Just like a deer only, but bigger one with lot of horns. Only deer to be found in swamp areas, damp areas. Like if you put your leg, it will go down little bit. You will feel what sponge like that. Means the total area is wet area. Okay, so bushes are there. Water is continuously coming to that particular. Is running off is there. That is called as what? Swamp area. Okay, in geography you might have learned. No, Terai region is a swamp region. Terai region is what? Swamp. Then Bhabar, Bhangar, Khadar. Right, Terai region is a swamp region. Okay. hunting pressure and the continuous habitat destruction. This deer is suffering from these problems. Hunting, because the whatever the horns are there, no, if you put in your home, no, then people will say that you are so, like you are so double paise wale, that you bought that particular unique thing 3 crore rupees. Okay, shows your wealth. Fine. Then Asian wild buffalo, found in India and Nepal. Population in hundreds only, 2000 are there. If we are 2000 individuals only, we have to protect them, otherwise your children will never see. Endangered by IUCN, and Wildlife Protection Act has put that this particular buffalo in the Schedule 1. Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act is nothing but more protection is given to them. Okay, more protection. Area will be demarcated, nobody will allowed to go to into the territory, etc. Okay, no human activity will be allowed. More protection, no hunting, no poaching, nothing. No outside interference. Okay, and if it is so required, they will go for what? XC2. They will go for XC2 conservation. What is the meaning of XC2? Yes, man-made. XC2. X means Bahir. Okay. In situ means inside where they are living. There only we are making some changes and we are making it them to make, okay, you live in this. Where they are living, there only you are making arrangements for them for good survival. In situ, inside their habitat. Ex situ means outside their habitat, like zoo. Okay, or shifting to any national park. Not actually, they used to be in the wild, taking them out and putting them into a wildlife sanctuary or national park, KBR Park, Kasu Brahmanand Reddy National Park. There only we will do jogging every day. Time pass, सब कुछ तो time pass करना ना. We will do time pass there only. Free gym is there outside, at the main gate. Free gym. Okay, so you can go, you can enjoy. It's a good place. Every day you can see what peacocks. Yeah, every day you will see peacocks. They will come, they will roam around only, and there also they will do that hasya therapy. Oh, okay. I will not do that therapy means when I see them I will get the therapy. Okay, without paying anything also I am doing my own therapy. When they do this hasya therapy. Okay, lot of people are fan of that, you know, lot of coaches are there for that. Many, it's a very big park. So they are paying and they are going for this hasya therapy. Okay. Then dugong. Only herbivore mammal. See how distinct and unique it is. Only herbivore mammal. And it's strictly marine, does not like rivers. Okay. Solely depends on what? Seagrass. Means herbivore, of course, will eat grass. Sea should have grass, then only it can survive. Sea should have what? Grass. Okay, sea grasses. In coastal areas you will find them. Vulnerable. It is under vulnerable. So coastal areas are always under development purpose only. Like they will either go for ecotourism, then they will develop fishes there, they will develop coastal areas, they will harbor their ships, fishing will be done there only, okay, boatings will be done there only, then playing also they will do like that there only, coastal zones, okay, all that recreational activities at the coastal areas. Okay, tourist spots, they are actually what? Coastal areas, beaches are what? Tourist spots, means then you will have to construct some food items there, some restaurants there, then to live some time, then you will also construct some houses also there. So then the total coastal area will get hampered. Okay. Gangetic river dolphin. Okay, I heard that it is blind. Is it right or wrong? Right? No? It's blind. Actually, we are also blind. Literally, we are also blind. If I give you a pin, if I throw a pin in a dark room, ask you to go out and pick it up, will you do it? It means you are able to see only in light. Otherwise, you are also blind. Right or wrong? Night 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, you go out, what you will see? If street lights are not there, it means you are blind. In front light is there, then only you can see. Otherwise all human beings are what? Blind. Reflection, say how important. That's why we have to thank Edison. He understood the pain of not seeing his wife in the night time. Okay, that is his pain. That's why out of that frustration or out of that love, there can be two possibilities of innovation, right? Either it should be a frustration or it should be a immense love. So which one was there we don't know because it is personal choice, but ultimately he got what? Bulb. Right or wrong? So that he should also do activities in night time. Right. So Gangetic River dolphin, it is also called as Susu and Shushank. Means the names are given like that. It is a national aquatic animal of India. It is the national symbols of India also. Found in Nepal, India and Bangladesh. Okay, means the rivers, whatever the river Ganga is going now, it is coming from Nepal, etc. So it will found everywhere, wherever the river Ganga is going. So it is a symbol for Assam state. It is a state symbol of Assam. It is a state symbol of Assam. The state which is having the Gangetic dolphin as its state symbol, along with national, it's also a national aquatic animal, right? Which state is that? They will ask you like this. Here both are there. India also consider it as national aquatic animal, and Assam is the only state which consider it as a state symbol. Okay. So in Telangana, what is our symbol? Bonalu, Butta, maize. That Bangaru Talli antar kada. Telangana symbol. You know or not? So why Butta means, why maize means, rice is not possible in Telangana. Lot of rainfall it requires. Okay. So maize is suitable to red soil. In Telangana he is having more red soil. That's why like this. For Andhra Pradesh, once upon a time Butta was not there. Rice ball was there. AP, rice ball is there in the hand. We don't have it. Okay. So like state symbol we are having like this. For them the state symbol is what? This dolphin. Okay. IUCN status endangered. Wildlife Protection Act 1972, it is categorized into Schedule 1. Very high protection will be given. Then Kashmiri stag, also called as Hangul, find in temperate grasslands, like a deer only. Temperate grasslands. Grasslands are nothing but grasses on land. Okay. Temperate means temperatures are less, little bit less. Obviously Kashmir is there, you can understand that there won't be much of the sunlight. Okay, cool, because of the cool breezes coming from what Himalaya mountains, glaciers, etc. The temperature will not be hot. Temperate, normal temperature. Okay. Dachingam National Park in Jammu and Kashmir. It is this Kashmir tag you will find in this park. If you want to see that Kashmir tag, you have to go to this park and see and come. Okay, and it is endemic to this Kashmir Valley. Wherever the Kashmir river is going, there you will see this particular Kashmiri stag, also called as Hangul. Very, very on the brink of extinction. Critically endangered. Critically endangered. So when we do the mentoring, no, I will put all these lectures only at the beginning. Okay, then we'll go for ecology. Fine. You should be very, very perfect in that. Then another is Jerdon's courser species. It's like a small squirrel like that. Squirrel or bird, small bird like that. Nocturnal bird, flagship species. Flagship species. Okay, so we are having what is this flagship, what is invasive, what is all that distinction is there in a tabular form. I will explain there. Okay. Flagship is a name given to a species when you wanted to make people aware that, okay, this is a species you have to protect. That particular species will be declared as what? Flagship species. On the notice board also, on the entry board also, you will be having that species. or you will be having a big structure of that particular species architecture will be there at the entrance of the gate, so that people should be what? Aware that this is a species that we have to conserve. It is a very important species. It is a very important species. It could be a species which may is under critically extinct. Okay, that category. Okay, that species could also be a flagship species, or else it could be a species which is having what? Charismatic characteristics, like tiger. It could also be considered as what? Flagship. Though we are having sufficient numbers of tigers, it could also be considered as flagship species, or a species which is going to extinct also, that could also be considered as a flagship species. Ultimately, we want to show that this is what you have to protect. Okay, everyone near that area, the local community should work together in order to protect that particular species. So making people aware that this is a species that you have to conserve. Okay, extremely threatened, found only in what? Andhra Pradesh. Population is in hundreds. Critically endangered category. Critically endangered category. There is no category like this, so this is only this. Critically endangered. Which one? Whenever you see about species, every species we are having habitat loss, poaching, hunting. Okay, because of their uniqueness. So there won't be any of these species apart from vultures. Vultures, because of biomagnification, they have died. Okay, because of other things, maybe the climate change also. Climate change could also be one of the reason. Okay, that's why maybe habitat loss in the sense is we call them as corridors. Corridors are nothing but like elephant is there. Elephant corridors are nothing but where they are moving. Actually, where they move, how they move, where they live, where they stay, where they make a group. This is called as their corridor. They will not go everywhere in the jungle. Remember this point. Every species are having its own corridors, and they will move in that particular area only. Okay, that corridor might have been cleared because of the government project, maybe like that. Then they have pushed the what I say is, you might have seen the Rana Daggubati, Hathi Mere Saathi, right? The elephants are having larger area, but they have pushed that part. They have felled all the trees and they have made a barricade inside. Okay, to go for development purpose. So the elephant which used to come to that particular level, so it used to come to this particular level. What happened now? It has been stopped here only. So this much habitat is lost or not? Okay, when this much habitat is lost, these elephants are properly surviving because in that habitat also they are having prey. They are having their food. Now because the habitat is less, what happened to their food? The food decreased or not? Decreased. So what happened when the food decreases? Competition happened. You might have learned that predation, competition, commensalism, this predation, competition will start, and two species cannot survive. Understood? And not only that, other species also there, they will also fight for the scarce resources here, and one will go extinct in that way. So habitat loss, poaching, hunting, climate change, okay, extreme factors, all that could be any, but they have got some disease like that, I have never heard. They died of because of a disease, okay, or they are flooded with because of a tsunami. It's not like that. Mainly concentration will be on this only. Okay. Indian rhino. It is now translocated from Pabitra Wildlife Sanctuary to Manas Wildlife National Park, Assam. Okay, just remember it has been transported. Indian Rhino Vision 2005 means to protect the rhino. So we have launched a mission called as Indian Rhino Vision 2005. It's a multilateral conservation initiative. Multilateral conservation initiative means here Assam government is also there, central government is also there, one institute is also there, other NGOs are also there, many are together, okay, coming forward for the conservation of what? Rhino. That's why I have not mentioned what are the various partners involved in this particular multilateral agreement. So I have just given you what? It's a multilateral, okay, conservation initiatives. Okay, Indian rhinos are also herbivores, endemic to our country, and whatever the rhino species are there across the world, our species is the larger in size. Okay, it is what? Vulnerable. It comes under what? Vulnerable. Rest of the things we'll have it tomorrow class also there, we'll complete. Okay, 6 to 8 same time. Thank you.